Nutrient agar cannot be used in the culture of all bacteria in the lab. Different bacteria has different nutritional requirements. So if you're trying to isolate specific bacteria away from their natural environment or habitat, you need to use a media that supports its growth. What is a culture media? It's simply a nutrient preparation used in the laboratory to culture, identify, maintain, and isolate. Important when you're trying to isolate microorganisms in the lab, you use the specific agar or culture media that supports its growth. That is why a lot of people come up with Staphylococcus aureus. They run tests in the lab and they tell them, oh, you have Staphylococcus aureus. I mean, I've been to a lot of labs and I've seen that many of them use mannitol salt agar. If you use mannitol salt agar to culture, what are you going to see there if it's not staph? So there are different types of culture media that you can use to isolate bacteria in the lab. The first is the basal media or nutrient agar. It's basic. It can support the growth of many microorganisms. If you just want to isolate from a sample, it can support their growth, but it's not ideal if you are looking for a specific type of microorganisms. But it's also useful in the isolation of pure culture. The next type of media we have is the enriched media. This is a basal media that has been supported with extra nutrients like serum, blood. Example is the blood agar or the chocolate agar. The next type of media that we have is a selective media. From the name selective, it selects different types of organisms, right? Example, a selective media can select gram-negative organism. It will support the growth of gram-negative organism and inhibit the growth of gram-positive organism, or it supports the growth of gram-positive organism and inhibits the growth of gram-negative organism. An example of a selective media is the McConkey agar. McConkey agar is a media that supports the growth of gram-negative organisms like E. coli, inhibits the growth of gram-positive organisms. So if you're trying to isolate E. coli in the lab, one of the best types of media you could use is the McConkey agar. The next one is a differential media. From the name differential, it differentiates bacteria on a media based on their metabolic activities. For example, McConkey again, which is also a differential media, it differentiates lactose fermenters from non-lactose fermenters. The next type of media is the enrichment media. Mind you, it's different from the enriched. In enriched, nutrients are supplemented in the media. Enrichment media is used when you're trying to multiply the number of a specific bacteria in a mixed culture. If you have a mixed culture and you're just trying to isolate a specific bacteria, you can use enrichment media to increase the number of that specific. Example is the selenite F broth or the alkaline peptone water. Another type of media that you have is the transport media. Of course, from the name transport, used to transport samples or isolate from one place to the other while preserving their viability. Another type of media we have is the anaerobic media. Anaerobic, supporting the growth of anaerobic bacteria in the lab. It's very essential that we use specific media for specific organisms. We know that different organisms are found in different anatomical sites in the body. For example, if it's an HVS sample, you know the type of organisms that you can find there. So it's best to use the type of media to prevent false negative or false positive. If it's urine sample and you're trying to isolate E. coli, you know that the best type of media you could use is the cleared agar. It's better, right? It supports the growth of E. coli from urine samples. So different agar media, different bacteria, different samples.